Okay, so this is part 8 of my FSS tutorials on converting standard visual pinball tables to FSS format. In this tutorial, it's basically part 2 of the solid state implementation into the back glass. Here is one thing I forgot to say in the part 1, and that is actually, hold on a second. For me to do that, I'm going to have to import that those samples. Hold on. Open. So you go and grab your type 1 SS for this example, and we are going to need these 2 parts, 4 parts, and these 2 parts. It's actually 2 parts, but because they're paired, and might as well grab that just in case. Copy and straight up paste. Just paste it. Don't paste that. Paste, and it should be pretty close. Okay, actually, it's not close. That's fine. All right, so what I wanted to show was this. You have to make sure that you import certain text to the 2 textures. I'll show you those textures. Table, image manager, and you have to rename them to these names. You have to import this texture from the library and this texture. They have to be in there, and they have to be named like that because there are those elements are already they're all referred to by these names, so you can't go and change them. And that's because that's what most authors use lights, single point lights, to generate the light in the center and the dark at the edges. I use flashers, and to generate that same effect. So you need those textures. And not only that, they don't render properly if you don't have those textures. All right, I'll turn them off again. So make sure those are imported, or that those LED displays will not work properly. All right, so we'll place them. Obviously, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Obviously, they're not going to fit properly, as all the others don't, because I'm unable to scale. So until that is returned, what am I doing? That's all I want to do. I want to unlock. So until that comes back, well, I can't fix the displays properly or scale them down properly. So anyway, you just go in and you place everything properly, and sort of properly at this point. Okay. I'm figuring this is the most important character and this is least important, so I think that's how they work. So put these into place first, and then I'll do the credit and match and so on and so forth, ball and play. It's kind of overlapping here, so this one is going to be a very short video, obviously, because we've already done part 1 pretty well. Showed everything there. Here it's just basically the same ordeal as the previous video, just things are located differently, and keep hitting scale. I do not know why. Okay, I'll place these credit ones first because then I'll be able to go in and select these guys. Oops, I think I missed 1 point. There we go. And there we go. All right, so that's done. They're in place. We're going to save that, and I probably won't have to mess around with the depth bias on these ones because they don't have a grill and so on and so forth. So they'll probably work. And now it's a simple, plug in the code, make some few changes here, as I did in part 1. So I'm going to go down, see if we have center graphics. Center graphics is done, so I'll be able to just put that in there. All right, so we're going to put the center digits, obviously, and we're going to grab all of this and the timer. Actually, the timer, speaking of the timer, it's probably right in the middle of the screen. And it's, okay, he might have it under another name. I'm just going to put it here. I'll delete it if he's already got a display timer somewhere. Actually, I'll just go look at it here. Flipper, he calls it flipper timer. Okay, so I'll get rid of, yeah, I'll get rid of that. I'll rename it. So I have this and display timer, which is going to be called flipper timer. Control C. Here, Control V. So I'll call this flipper timer now. Okay, that's good for now. So as you can see, this is all in there, except for this. I forgot that, yes, those are the 2 extras. So you have to delete that, and you can tell because, see how these are yellowish, greenish, yellow-green mix? These are black. That means they're not declared, so it's easy to tell. And we're going to bring this down to 31, 32. At the 32, you have to modify this, 32, and you have to modify center digits to 31. Okay, so now we're going to modify the Z scaling and the XY minimums, maximums. So we just copy what we have here in center graphics because we did all that work already. Copy, paste. This is ready. Code's ready. So now we go in on comment, disable the, oh, he didn't have it. Oops. Okay, hold on. He didn't, that wasn't in the background? Oh, there's no display stuff in this table. Okay, all right. So he has a timer. I don't know what it's for. I have to check that. Maybe I will end up putting back my timer. Call it flipper timer. Let's go find out what that is. Maybe it's just a timer for the flippers. That's why he calls it flipper timer. Yes, that's the angle. Okay, so we do have to put back the, I should have verified that before I went and deleted it. So we have to rename this back to flasher timer, I think it's called. I can't remember. Actually, just wait. I'm going to go and get it, paste it in there. Okay. There it is. Control C, display timer. And we're just going to put it right by here. Paste that. So we've got our display timer in there. The script, call this display now, because that was an error. Okay, so this should work. I don't even need to comment out a desktop version because he didn't, wasn't put in there. This is all good. This should work now already. No, it's not going to work because I actually didn't enable that code in my setup back glass. Yeah, you need that. That's okay. It's good that I get errors like this, or I forget stuff. The viewer gets to learn. Come on. Yes. Okay. So they're not positioned. Normally, when it's 0, you don't need that, and they're green. We're gonna have to change that. We don't want that green. No. Okay. Oops. That won't. Not to grab. Actually, maybe they're on a different layer. Yes. 2 and 5. Okay. Whew. All right. We're gonna change that to something else than that color for sure. Okay. And let's check 700 minus 500, 80 opacity, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that's all good. Now, why are they not positioning the backdrop? What's the scale? The scale is 1.1. What's it doing to that? Wasn't set properly. Oh, no. 0.9. Okay, you do need an offset. Because of that, see how they have an offset in the graphics? So let's put a 50. Start at 50. And let's find out if that's good enough. Sometimes they're different. Don't know why that is. Yep. Yeah, that's good enough. Yep, and they glow, so that's good. And there it is. Got some credit to that. Sometimes the credit doesn't show up. I don't know why. It's not, even if it wasn't desktop mode, the credit wouldn't show up. It has to do with MAME and the ROM. Credit doesn't show up. I wonder sometimes if it's, yeah, a third set of data. But anyway, it's always been like that. I've mimicked my setup based on what the previous authors have done, and so, you know, if the credit doesn't show up here, it has nothing to do with what I've done, and those previous authors. Well, they're in contact with all of these guys who know everything about the ROM. So if it doesn't work, it never did, and probably never will. Anyway, so that's it. Yep. So this table is done. So play here. Check out, make sure the scores work. Like I say, well, until I can scale down those LED displays, basically I'm going to stop making FS tables. That's it. So again, thanks for watching. Oh, well, see that? You see that? There we go. That's why you always have to make sure it's that one little texture that's out of the screen. Let me go check that. Here, it's this guy here, who ends up moving all over the place because he gets shifted. How come I can't select him? There we go. I'm just going to make him, he is invisible. What do I do? Okay, move him somewhere else. No, actually, just turn him off. Right. So amount 0, 0, 0. There we go. Actually, just make it 1 in that way. There. Okay, now you shouldn't show up. I'm glad that showed up because you would wonder why that was doing that. And that's because it appears in every array, and so when the my little routine moves the display into the proper place, moves it multiple times, it ends up over there. That's all. So let's try that again. And it shouldn't blink after the game is finished, or so I'm just going to let the ball sink. Okay. Once the display starts blinking, yeah, see, it's gone. No more flashing light. Okay, so that's it. Again, thanks for watching, and the last probably be a two-parter because I discovered that. Well, actually, I'll explain that when I do it. Anyway, next video will be on EMs. Again, thanks for watching.